Thank You for Your Service is directed by Jason Hall and stars Miles Teller, Haley Bennett, and Amy Schumer, surprisingly.
Yeah,
and
I didn't see her coming.
Yeah, I know that was different. And this film deals with soldiers that serviced in Iraq in 2007, and it's actually inspired by a true story that happened. Yeah. I don't know the full details, but basically this was a story that happened in 2007 where these 3 guys that were in Iraq basically. There was
actually more than that.
Well, I mean,
it's like a whole group of them, basically.
Whole group of them, but anyway, the soldiers that service in Iraq, they come home from the war after their tour, and basically, they've done their duty and everything.
And they went through some
really terrible things. Basically, the story deals with not only, basically all these soldiers having to adjust to their lifestyle from their personal lives, and it deals a lot with their basically as their trauma that they experienced in the war.
It also deals with the lack of our country caring for veterans. There's a stigma on our government not caring. And if you don't believe me, you can go to your local veterans clinic.
Well, and your dad also was in the Army too.
Yeah, and he does the veterans thing. The VA. Yeah. And VA hospitals are known to be really bad, and there is a stigmata in our country, and it pushes that narrative when you see Miles Teller and these guys trying to get help, and how they're pretty much told to go fuck themselves, or you can wait years down the road like they're expendable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're begging for help. And I want to tell you right now, this movie was really, really, really good. I enjoyed it from the beginning to the end, man. And it's emotional film.
Yeah, I didn't really expect much going into this because I kind of just, thought it was going to be...
And we saw this on Veterans Day, so
yeah, today is actually Veterans Day, and happy Veterans Day to all the brave soldiers and families and friends of all the soldiers who serviced in Iraq and in the army, in the military,
or
as well.
any
or
war.
any war whatsoever. And we give our respects to all of you. And so this was actually a great date to watch this on.
Yeah, I'm actually glad because I wasn't thinking about it, but we were meant to see this last week, actually 2 weeks in a row, I believe.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Yeah, when it first came out, and we just kept pushing off, and now come to think of it, Veterans Day, I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't
perfect
think about
timing.
It. Perfect. I'm glad I saw it on Veterans Day. So.
And I gotta tell you, I wasn't really expecting much to go with this, but it seems like this is the second movie in a row that I've seen Miles Teller in that
he's amazing,
showed how much of an actor he truly is in this film. Because I'm gonna tell you, this is probably another one of my best movies of the year, along with Only the Brave.
Yeah,
this guy,
another God. He is amazing,
going
dude.
places,
and he is going places. I'm liking everything he's in, and man, he picks the right roles. And you know what? I actually got a lot of praise for him because I earn a lot of respect. I give a lot of respect to him because he did out of Only the Brave and Thank You for Your Service, because he's a big military firefighter. He's doing a lot of these I support you guys type thing. And the thing is, he doesn't go into it like, okay, I'm an actor. I think I know what I'm doing. I know it all. I'm just going to do it in my way. He actually goes to these things and learns.
Yeah.
And he actually hangs out at places and really studies the role. And I appreciate that a lot, man. Especially, the military and what he did with the firefighting movie. So, yeah, I mean, he did it for both. He studies, man. He really puts himself into that.
And it's funny because in this film as well, he also plays a father who is struggling with his wife and his kids, basically trying to do good for him and everything. Only difference is that in this film, he's, a guy who's coming back from the war, and not going to go into detail because we really don't want to spoil anything, but the film deals a lot with PTSD and how it affects the people that come back from the war. And this is really...
It's not only that. There's another thing it also digs a little bit on. And I like how it digs in all the things, all the shit that the soldiers go through, from post-traumatic stress to not getting no help, to the VA being a piece of shit, to coming home and finding out your wife fucked another man and moved on, and type shit. When you were gonna marry her and all that stuff.
Well, and also the struggles looking for jobs too, because because that dates all the way back when in the 70s, when the Vietnam era. Because when Vietnam vets came home, they couldn't hardly find work.
Yeah, they were They were called baby killers and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
they were hated, and then other parts were a lot of soldiers are known for domestic violence, which that's a stigmata that can be anybody. It doesn't necessarily mean soldiers, but they try to dig in like how like the soldiers seen some really bad stuff, and he can't. It's not like he wants to hurt his family. He doesn't. It's just he can't help it. There's a lot of problems, and he needs help, and he's begging for help. Yeah, and then it digs on that, and it also digs on sometimes some go to drugs to cope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this film really digs deep and adds so many everything. It adds so many layers to emotional stuff that happens. Yeah. And this, keep in mind, this is also directed by the same guy who wrote American Sniper, which also dealt with PTSD. Though in that film, they focus more on the war itself and then him coming back and going back again.
I said something earlier where a lot of these post-traumatic stress movies, they tend to try to show that, but then they also add the war aspect, and they make sure that the war aspect is majority of the film so that you can kind of be entertained or whatever. This one didn't want to do that. It wanted you to see what comes from war.
Yeah, which I appreciated because I really enjoyed that there, because you're also learning more about things that happen, because they only show you like glimpses that are happening at the beginning of it, and then it starts to come back full circle towards when the movie goes when the movie comes in later.
I liked all the soldiers, everybody's performance in this. I thought their chemistry worked perfectly.
Amy Schumer was also great in this too.
Amy Schumer, I don't like her as a person, and I really can't stand a lot of her movies, but I will give her performance in this. I'll give her where respect is due. She did really good in this.
Yeah.
I didn't even see her in the cast. That blew me away when I said, what the fuck is Amy Schumer doing this? Yeah. Oh, shit. So it was a nice change. But, man, like I said, I like the cast members. I also like the kind of how the soldiers can bring comedy to a depressing time, where it reminds you of you hanging with your buddies in high school or whatever. But mainly it happens a lot when military men, we're all picking on each other and just having fun and just calling each other, cussing names and making fun of each other. That is fun. They had a lot of comical points, and you could see that they're trying to hide what's reality is going on. So they're trying to cure it by just showing comical side of them.
Yeah,
I did like that.
I did absolutely enjoy that part too. And plus, everything from them having to find hope for everything, it all comes into play for how much it really tackles the realism in that regard.
And not only that, this movie is R-rated, and it does have a lot of brutal scenes, especially where like they'll deal with like flashbacks of stuff, like where they'll think they saw like their family die or something.
Yeah, it gets.
And then it will actually show the brutality if it happened.
Yeah.
There's some blood splattering and then some of the gunshots kind of made me jump a little bit.
Yeah, they did. Like it feels really intense. Yeah. But overall, I mean, there's more we want to go into detail, but that's really the general gist of it. Because honestly, if there's any cons, I can't really. I guess the only minor thing I could say is that even though I was emotionally invested with the film, it didn't have me like. It didn't have me like on a very like emotional high level, like supposed to be. I wasn't like fully like on the verge of tears or anything, but I still was fully grasping what was happening.
I agree with him on this. I was like, don't get me wrong, this is a sad story, and the more I think about it, because it's so true about our soldiers needing help and begging for help, and they need their country to be by their side like they was protecting us.
Yeah.
Given to them. And the emotions is there, but I think I walked out of Only the Brave with stronger, more tears. This movie was really pushing the emotions, but it wasn't trying to push it to the point of like bawling. Like Only the Brave did. So it could have done better on that, because this one is more of a deeper story.
Yeah, that's what I
was hoping it would have captured in that. I guess, I mean, there's not much flaws. I mean, other than I wish they would have kept going a little bit longer on some things.
Yeah, there are some things that they could have maybe resolved a little more necessarily.
Yeah.
Like there's a subplot that involves, or one of the characters, won't say who, one of the characters gets involved into some bad stuff that happens. Yeah. We could have maybe had some more resolvement in that regard.
I guess I could add that, because even though it was still interesting what they showed us, I felt like they rushed it to the point. And now with that, I like how it takes place in Missouri, Arkansas area.
Yeah, this touches kind of where we're at, because one part of it, it takes place near the Arkansas Northwest.
Yeah. and then Missouri border. So yeah, and then he goes and sees that for him. But overall, man, there's not much flaws to this film. I thought this was amazing from beginning to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I think this might, if this does end up become one of my top 10 movies, it'll probably be up there, at least on honorable mention, if anything. But I still highly enjoy it. And
same here.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to be the same with him, 9 out of 10.
All right, fair enough. And for those of you who have also seen Thank You for Your Service, and let us know in the comments what you guys thought about it. And once again, we want to give a shout out to Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there, especially your dad who just retired from the military actually
after 40 years almost.
Yeah,
so,
and
I grew up in a whole military family, so going to see something like this, I enjoy stuff like this. Not saying I like people dying or anything. I just like watching some of these movies, especially where they dig deep on some certain categories like that. And we had a funny thing is there's like, you know, with these type movies, you're gonna have like that kind of villainous type character who's pretty much like anti-government or anti-military or anti-help soldiers. And there's a fucking character in here that is in this that was kind of like playing the dickhead person, and we were in there with full of vets. And they were like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit." That was funny. But, I see where they're coming from. They're frustrated of being treated like shit to a country, you know, they fight for. So we need our country needs to do a lot better on helping them.
Absolutely. And with that, like I said, we do give a great shout out to all the veterans and families of the veterans out there. And happy Veterans Day, and definitely check out this movie if you get a chance to. And feel free to, if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out some other reviews here as well. And you can also check out our website at filmphreaks.com, and we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.